Progressives, this is your trigger warning. Hi folks, welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. From PJ Media, RFK Jr. telegraphs threat to vacate Democrat Party plantation. Yeah, he's being treated so badly by his own people. When I say his own people, I mean the Democrat Party, which aren't really his own people anymore. I go along with the fact that RFK Jr. wants to run in a primary against the sitting president. I get it. Ironically, his uncle, Ted Kennedy, who I'm no fan of, ran in a primary against the sitting president, Jimmy Carter, if you remember. And he lost, and Jimmy Carter ended up losing to Ronald Reagan in a landslide. Now, I go along with the premise that you shouldn't screw over people that are trying to run for public office. I've seen it happen here locally. I live in upstate New York. I've seen it happen before. You want to get somebody out, you just primary them. Rather than win a general election, you only have to convince a small amount of people. I get the theory. I don't like it. But I think he should run as a third party. Let's read the article a little bit, and I'll tell you what I think why. The Democrat Party has a latent disaster on its hands vis-a-vis one RFK Jr. On one hand, they're fully dedicated to sabotaging his campaign. Under no circumstances whatsoever will he be permitted to win the nomination. Even if he had 80% support from the electorate, the sick truth is that party leadership, influenced by the consultant and donor classes, would rather lose with Brandon than win with RFK Jr. because of what he's liable to do to the deep state in D.C. if he were ever to assume office. It would be a proverbial bloodbath for the administrative state and all of the grifters who feed on it. That's true. His hatred of the deep state is as personal, as deep as Trump's is. That's the one thing they have in common. He goes on and on about his father and his uncle, John Kennedy, who when I was a young boy I idolized. They were both killed, murdered. And he thinks the deep state was involved with a lot of it. And I can't say that I can argue with him. I haven't really seen all the evidence. It's like getting information out of a fire hose. Some stuff gets by you. But I digress. On the other hand, they need to keep JFK Jr. within the Democratic Party fold because if he were to go rogue and run third party, which he frankly should have been doing all along, would be a proverbial death knell for the Brandon entity's prospects in 2024, which are a wafer thin as it is. Now, I'm not saying he should run as a third party because I'm a Trump supporter, just to be clear. And if and when Trump gets the nomination for the Republicans, RFK running as a third party, along with Professor, I believe it's Cornel West is his name, would draw a few percentages, just like the Green Party did with Jill Stein in 2016, would be devastating for the Democrats. That's how tight their advantage or not advantage is at the national level. It's not because Trump would win. It's because I was a Democrat my entire life. In fact, I was a Democrat 8 years in the early 2000s, 2000 to 2007. I was a local elected official as a Democrat and city council president in 2006. I left the party since then and I'm now a Republican. I was disappointed in the party that I belonged to almost my entire adult life, and it saddened me to leave it. The Democrats have some things in the old days, at least the old school Democrats, the ones I still call John Kennedy Democrats, mostly baby boomers that believe in the Democrat Party of old, not the progressive nut bars and lunatics they are now. If the Democrat Party crashes and burns, as they should, maybe out of the ashes, they'll put together a party that's looking out for the American people and not this crazy progressive lunatic things that they believe in now. It doesn't take a majority to run a party. The progressives are probably 15, 20% of the Democrat Party, but they run the agenda and the White House. I want the Democrat Party to be a viable party again, not the nut bars they are now, and being destroyed and just being smashed into pieces. They'll hopefully see the light, the smart ones anyway, and there's still some smart Democrats left, and they rebuild the party. Whatever perceived threat Cornel West poses to Brandon's reelection with his Green Party run, magnify that threat times 10, 100 if you're in the ballpark of what RFK Jr. would do to the party. It's now outlandish to speculate that a strong third-party run by RFK Jr. might literally break the Democrat Party for years or possibly forever, so they can regroup and become a decent party again. That's how sick of the party's BS its own members, not to mention independents and non-voters, the largest unserviced voting bloc in the country, are. RFK Jr. has proved himself nearly bulletproof from relentless Democrat Party and corporate state media attacks, arguably on the same level in this regard to the Teflon Don, i.e. Donald Trump. And there's an interview here. I'm not going to show it, where he basically says how rigged it is. This is RFK Jr. in the video. If the DNC is going to make it, it's going to rig it so that it's simply impossible for anybody to challenge President Biden. And you know I need to look at other alternatives, because I don't go back to the people who support me. I can't go back to the people who support me, to my donors, and say, I'm just in this to a point. I need to show them a road to victory. Now, will he be the spoiler? Probably. But I think it would be good for the Democrat Party. What is now a threat, albeit apparently a sincere and credible threat, needs to be encouraged by everyone to evolve into reality. RFK Jr. abandoning the Democrats would all but ensure defeat of the Brandon entity, and a brutal landslide one at that. In 2024, which can be nothing but good news for all Americans, even delusional loyal Democrats won't understand their own self-interest. Yep, that's true. That's absolutely true. So I think, and I hope that he does it, he's kind of softly threatened it, that if you don't change it so you're screwing me over in the primary process, I will run as a third-party candidate. Will you call that party? I really don't know. I know here in upstate New York and New York State, we have the Independence Party, but there's plenty of others. You could be a third-party run like Ross Perot. A lot of things could happen. It would be a devastating blow to the Democrats. And they're playing with fire. Treat the guy fairly. That's all he asks. But they can't do that. They can't do it. They weren't. I can't go into details because this website won't allow it. But in the last 10 plus years, the Democrats have always been dirty, but now they're doing it. They're saying things and doing things right out in the open. They don't care anymore. They have to win. They have to win. And RFK Jr. knows that. And so do the Republicans. We're going to have to see if he buckles. He's under tremendous pressure personally, his family. Who's to say something won't happen to him? I certainly hope not. I wouldn't want that for anyone. But the writing's on the wall, Democrats. Either play by the rules and be fair, or get the consequences you deserve. You reap what you sow. We're going to have to see. The next year is going to be amazing. As President Trump says, it's going to be huge, huge. Until next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.